Hi, babe. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It is so good to be with you. Happy Sunday. Today's Sunday, the 1st of March. So also happy new month. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you're just seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Akam, and on here, I like to share stories and insights about my personal journey to taking big leaps and living a free life. Recently, I moved abroad solo, so this channel is dedicated to sharing stories about that journey, the emotional, the spiritual, and the creative frameworks that allowed me to take that big leap. And yeah, I do this all in hopes to inspire you to live a free life and to also, take big leaps as well. So if this sounds good to you, okay, consider hanging out with me, subscribing, and yeah, thank you for joining me. Today is a pretty chill day. I am actually at my craft table. I am making a makeup purse using this lovely Adire fabric. So I'm just sitting here by my sewing machine. Today is just a very simple sew and chill day with me. Just chilling with me while I put this purse together. And yeah, just talk about I actually have some things on my mind to talk to you about. And if you have anything to talk to me about, just leave me in the comments, I want this to be a two-way conversation. So yeah, yes. So I guess I'm going to get to it. Okay, I'm just going to chat with you as I construct and put this makeup purse together. I have a tutorial right here by my side on my iPad. So I'll be looking at that to make sure that I am following along and constructing the bag properly. So if I look this way, that's what I'm doing. And if you hear any noise in the background, that's my cat. He's having a moment this evening. So, okay, permit him. But yeah, how was your weekend? How did that go? What did you get up to this weekend? Did you do anything fun? This weekend? This weekend was actually pretty eventful for me. I had to do a lot of prep work because I start a new job tomorrow actually. So I'm having to, organize myself, organize my meal prep, organize all the things that I'll have to do basically while I am at my new 9 to 5. And this makeup purse that I'm constructing is also it is partly because of this new job. I found that with my old job, it was kind of difficult for me to transport my little makeup compact powders and brushes and lip balms and all of that because, it would stay in my purse. So I thought it would be good to have like a dedicated purse just to hold all my makeup things. So that's what I'm doing today. It will be easier to, of course, walk into the store. I have a Shoppers close by. It will be easier to walk in there and buy one. But I'm like, you know what? I think I like the idea of making a custom one for myself. And I really like this fabric. And I also quilted the front. I don't know if you can see the lines. But yeah. So, and I got this tape. It's like a costume maker tape from my local fabric veil. I think that's what they are called. So this is this zipper tape is actually a lot longer than my purse, but I will make it work. I think this is an 18-inch zipper tape, and my purse is about 15 inches. But hey, I'm not complaining, so let me try and do the first layer. So it's like a sandwich layer. I would have to layer the makeup because I'm using a lining for this. It's like a transparent voile cotton. So I have to layer this, and then the zipper tape goes in between the lining. So that's the first layer basically. But yeah, how was your weekend? I spent mine, like I said, prepping and getting ready, but I also had time to do something fun. I went to watch this play that started showing in Toronto, I think last week. No, not last week. I think the week before. But it showed like for a total of a week, I think, altogether. So I went on Saturday to see this play called Copperbelt. It's such a good play. Let me see if I can grab what's it called? What's it called? The playbill. One sec. So yes, this is what it looks like. It was so good. It's a Zambian play written by Natasha Mumba. She's so brilliant. Like she starred the main character role, Eden, and oh my God, she was really, really good. All of them were really, really good. They were all really good. Like the story is about this is centered on this Zambian family that owns a copper mine in Zambia. But then they have their kids living in the West. One lives in Canada, also working in a mining company, and the other lives in, I think, Australia. And then they have one child that lives on the continent with the parents. So this story is centered around, a health crisis that happens to the dad, and then all of them had to rush back home, and all of the secrets that are covered by that, by that visit or by their visit back home. So they got to hear lots of scandalous revelations, corruption. Like it was giving low-key, like what you would expect from an African drama. It was so good. And to actually watch it live was really, really it was delicious, basically. So that was fun. I'm kind of struggling to. Okay, I'm not struggling. Let me just put it together. Let me do that right quick. But I hope I gave this a little bit of leeway. Okay, it is going to be really big, like because the tape is quite long, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad. But yeah. And then what else did I get up to? The past week I watched like everybody else, I guess, at this point. I watched Reality Check, right? America's Next Top Model expose, honestly. At this point, I actually feel that's an expose. Maybe not too deep, but they went there, I feel. They really went there in all of the, revelations and very scandalous moments on the show. But what was most like shocking to me, what was really, really shocking to me was, the inability still of certain people to take accountability, right? Despite, having very clear evidence at this point of these very serious harms that they did. That was just really painful to watch. Because I'm like, wow, this was actually their moment to get some sort of justice and like some sort of acknowledgement of the wrongdoings that they faced and or the harms, actually. I think harms is more appropriate. And none of that happened, right? At least with most of the judges and decision makers, none of that. Judges of the show and decision makers of the show, none of that accountability happened, right? So that was quite painful. But it was also nice to see how far the ladies had moved on with their lives and their careers. It was really nice to see that some of them had alchemized it to now mentor and coach young girls in the industry, went on to do amazing things. I think one does real estate, and they are all into different sort of opportunities that I feel is a good way to alchemize that experience they went through, which was really nice to see. So kudos to them for, surviving that and still coming out, successful. And still going about living their badass lives. That was really nice to see. Because really, no monkey should stop your show. Like, nobody should have that power. Okay, I think I have pinned this first layer just like the director. But I'm a little bit concerned about some folding I see happening here. There's like a first layer here that just keeps folding. So let me see if I can get that sorted out. But yeah. Oops, I think this is a bit too... Okay. Yeah. I hope I don't spend too long making this bag. Okay. So I think I'm going to go ahead and shorten the length of the lining, because you can see it's a little bit longer than the main body. So I'll just go ahead and kind of shorten it by a little bit just so that it matches up with the length of the main body. So just give me 1 sec. Okay, I'm right here with you. Okay, let's see. I think I need to grab my zipper fit for this next part, but I have to check that. Okay, 1 sec. I have to check that it's actually out here. I left that zipper fit out here. Okay, I found it. Yo, I actually cannot wait to move to a bigger space because I'm having to use this space for a myriad of things that I do not want to use this space for. So which side am I doing it on? Should I do it on the left side? So I'm still very, very new to installing zippers, right? I think I installed my very first zipper when I made my first dress, which was maybe like 2 months ago. And I've been sewing since like May, I should say, since May of last year. So I don't know if that is progress, but hey. Okay, so I'm going to try and sew very close to the zipper teeth. That's what the lady says. I'm using this tutorial on YouTube by Sew Make Bake. Or Sew Bake Make, sorry. Sew Bake Make, okay? She has this I like it, a 10 minutes tutorial on how to put this together. It's the most straightforward one I have seen. So I'm going to, adopt her methods. So let me see. Okay, she's telling us that the seams are tucked in. She's telling us about the measurements. So I'm going to skip all of this because I've gone past this part. And she anyways. I'm not buying, like I've learned my lesson. I'm not buying any sort of sewing equipment from Amazon anymore. Like I don't want to say being burnt way too many times, but I feel like you find better deals if you actually go into a sewing supply store. Like I think it's much cheaper in there. Now, if you don't have access to that, then that's totally understandable. But for me, I have one literally 10 minutes away from me. I have several actually 10 minutes away from me. So I'm like, I'd rather just save myself all of the Amazon stress and go into the stores and pick up my sewing supplies because it's better quality. The price is actually, more competitive compared to Amazon. So I'm like, you know what? I will just buy my sewing supplies from the local sewing supply stores, going forward. No more Amazon for me. Yeah. I just went off on a little tangent there. Okay, so she's showing that you sandwich it, you put it together, and then you clip, which I have done, and then you sew. Okay. And then that's what she's trying to do now. So let me just follow along. I really enjoy watching I feel like tutorials especially YouTube tutorials, right? Well, okay, mostly YouTube tutorials. I have used other tutorials in my sewing journey, but I find that the YouTube ones, I find that the YouTube ones really, really helps. if you're a newbie and you're just wanting to learn the ropes. And then you can graduate to taking a sewing class at your local, you know, local shops. Let me see. I hope I'm kind of close. Let me try and adjust my settings here. Ah, I see. Oh. Ooh. Wow. I feel like I'm so far away from it. Yep. I am so far away. But I don't really need it to be close. I'm not trying to sew an invisible zip on. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it and 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 do it. Let's do it all and do it. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm always very conscious of whatever speed I'm swinging with because I wouldn't want things to get out of hand. I hate it when that happens. Yay! I honestly really enjoy sewing. Like sewing is something that I have come to love. It really used to frustrate me in the beginning when, I was trying to get the hang of things like, how to thread a machine, how to, you know, troubleshoot issues that I was encountering while I was sewing. Like that took a very deep learning curve, but I was so determined. I was so determined to know what the hell I was doing because I felt it was important for me to be good at this. I enjoy fashion. I enjoy, all of these things like makeup bags, totes, scrunchies. Like, I really like all of those things. So the opportunity to be able to make one for myself has always appealed to me. Actually taking the step to learning and, doing projects like this has been delicious. Like I really, really like that. I stuck with it and I actually enjoy doing it because it's actually, it's not the easiest thing to master. It's not the easiest thing to master. Like I find myself still making some very silly mistakes that I should not be making at this stage. But one thing I like about this community, oh my God, I think I have gone off base, have I? No, I haven't. But one thing I like about this community is just the willingness to be very encouraging and supportive. Like people in this space they're not really what's the word now? They're not really tense about their seniority in the industry or whatever. Like even those that do this as a business, they're not really concerned with, like they're just concerned with encouraging you, being supportive, telling you to reach out to them if you need any kind of help. And I think that's just so positive for newbies like me. Okay, this is what we have for this one. Okay. And then I'll have to come and top stitch here. Okay, let's see what she does. Okay, so she sews and then oh, oh, the moment of truth. I hope I haven't made a mistake. Okay, let me see what she does. Okay, she does this. Oh my God, I think I have kind of fucked this up somehow. Hold on. So she does. So it's a sandwich thing like this, yeah? So, guys, I feel like I have made a mistake. I can't believe I made a mistake already. Well, how is that possible? I made a mistake, guys. Oh my God. And I was just going on about how, you know, so this is what I should have done. Okay, yep. So I needed to put this together. Well, that's why I didn't sit. Okay. I hope I'm not confusing myself really. So let's see. Yeah, that's what I did. Yep. So I opened this. Well, I'm not getting this. Oh. Okay, let's see. I think I did the right thing. I'm just confused on something. Oh, no, 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 no. I did the wrong thing. See, instead of yapping, I should have just watched the thing first. Hold on. Let me grab my seam ripper. Okay. Yeah, I see what my mistake is. And then I had the effrontery to use an extra short stitch length for the zipper. So seam ripping this will be fun. My cat is trying to smell my drink. Oh man, I was really on a roll, you know. Damn. I was really on a roll. Seam ripping is like one of my favorite sewing activities to do. I love sitting here and taking this little picker to each seam and ripping it open. Ripping open the beautiful work I have been doing. Oh my God. Like how fun for me. Okay, so while I do this, right, we can chat about what else I have been watching. And what have you been watching too? What kind of shows do you like? What kind of shows do you watch? I have been watching I saw part 2 of Bridgerton. And it was interesting, but I don't know, I kind of feel like this season low-key let me down. Like I feel like this storyline was low-key drawn out. Right? Because like I would have really loved to see more of Kate and Anthony. Like, did we even get to see the child? Oh, we did, but like for just 2 seconds. And then they moved on. Oh, they said the child was coming to visit the grandma, but then that was it. Did we even see Kate again? We only saw Anthony come and visit, but did we see Kate? And they didn't even show us like the wedding, even though it's not like I would have. Honestly, this is one love story I really don't care about. I really like Sophie Beck as a character. Sophie Beck, yeah. I like her as a character, but I honestly couldn't care less about Benedict. And I don't know. I feel like ever since he asked her to be his mistress, like even though he let her apologize to her, you know, recognizing the error of his ways and all of that, but I'm just like, Sophie girl. Anyways, he was willing to sacrifice, you know, family time with her, you know, until they realized that she came from a pedigreed family. I swear, that story was so funny, please. I'm like, it was giving Cinderella, but not really. Because she didn't even get to try on the gloves or the slipper. Oh yeah, he had her gloves. She didn't even get to try on. Or was it the slipper he had? He had something of hers. I can't remember now. But she didn't even get, he just saw it in her drawer and then finally I saw her pendant. I was like, yep, this is she. Wow. I really used the tiniest of stitch length for this. My God. And I didn't even take off. And I'm already seam ripping. Can you believe this? Like, I barely started and I'm already seam ripping. Oh my God, please send help. So it'll be a very fun project to do. And this is one thing I don't know if I appreciate about YouTube, but like, you see how they do these things in 17 minutes, baby? It will take you 4 hours. I know it's all production and all of that that makes it, that short, but you would stupidly think that, just like I did, just like I did, think that, oh, this is so easy. I'm like, girl, please don't be fooled. Please don't be fooled. They had to edit that. My cat is beginning to get fussy. Yes. I'm like, don't be fooled, please. This is not the easiest project to do. But yeah, I was really excited and looking forward to coming to hang out with you today. It has been a while. I was kind of sick for the most part of last week, but I'm a lot better now. And that's why I was, MIA from YouTube for a little while. But I am back. I am back. I'm back to doing me on here and hanging out with you and sharing stories. Last time we spoke, I said I was going to file my tax document. I feel like that was the most adult thing I did last week. I was able to file mine I think it was on Friday. And the accountant was like, you're literally one of the first people. I was like, girl, of course. I'm not trying to get CRA to come for me. And also because I'm starting work in a new place, I'm just trying to, tie up loose ends and so that there is no confusion. Wow. This backstitch really locked this thing in. Okay, backstitch. I will put some respect on your name next time. Okay, let me do things the right way this time, please. Because I'm trying to get out of here. Hey. Okay, let's do things right. So it's this way. So let's see again. One more time. So it's to the front, zipper face down. Okay, face down like this. And then foil up like this. There we go. And then clips, clip. Okay, I have to try and... Oh my God. Hey God, this is my cat. Papa, please, can you just, give me some space? Okay. I'm happy to finally be on track, or be back on track, I should say. Okay. So I'm just trying to, excuse me, reclip this in the proper way. Doing things the proper way. Okay, so I was talking about Bridgerton. I finished watching part 2, but then I said I felt underwhelmed by the storyline this season. It felt drawn out in some parts, especially the part about her future, looking for work, trying to dodge Lady Penwood. Well, I should say the original Lady Penwood, because Cressida came out of, well, actually, spoiler alerts. Spoiler, please, spoiler. Okay, so I'm about to dive deep, so please spoilers, okay? I'll be spoiling it. So if you haven't finished watching it and you want to watch it, please just skip to, just check the titles for the chapters and skip to the next part. That does not have Bridgerton spoilers. But I'm going to, not say too much about it, because I just wanted to just talk about, the parts that I felt was a bit drawn out. That was it. But generally it was okay. It was a good watch overall, I would say. But definitely not as interesting as Anthony's season. And I feel like Penelope's season was low-key interesting as well. But I would say there's some really sad parts, right? Like when Lady Danbury finally got her approval to leave. And then the party where her and what's her face? Her and the Queen had that touching moment between them. That was nice. Okay, so put it down. And then, okay. Good. So we are back on track. That's so now. Okay. One thing I have a Janumi 2030 DC. I think that's what it's called. And one thing I really appreciate about it is how quiet it is. It's not as loud as the brother one I used to have. That one used to get so loud. Ooh. Okay, let me put it down and see if it will actually. Okay, before I make the same mistake, increase the stitch length and then start again. I'm not trying to sleep here next time I'm seam ripping. Hey. Yeah. So that was my thoughts on Bridges, and it was generally okay, but just a bit drawn out in some parts. The parts where she's trying to hide from her evil stepfamily and looking for work and all of the drama. Yeah. That cutscene was so funny to me. But yes, that was Bridgerton for me. And I started rewatching. So Canada has this they have their own kind of like political sketch show. And one of the, I don't know if there are others, but the one that I watch is This Hour Has 22 Minutes. It's on CBC Gem. CBC actually has an app called CBC Gem, and you can watch for free, but you have to create an account. And oh my God, I've been watching old seasons and episodes, and I have just been laughing. And it was such a good, I would say, snapshot into, what was dominant in Canadian politics back then. So it's just a nice throwback, I would say. And the old seasons are so funny because they have, different character, or should I say cast members. They have different cast members, and yeah, really seems like a good time to be doing that for work. They always look like they're having fun, at least. Okay. Yay. So now I get to do the proper thing and top stitch here. Yes. So I come and top stitch here. Let me just watch that. That's what I'm supposed to actually do. So this is what it looks like. Let me show you. This is what it looks like. So I have to fold this over and then top stitch on this side, just so that it holds properly, kind of like sits properly. Yep. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. But see what I mean about how long the tape is? I'll try and see if I can just cut it down too. So she opens it up, folds that over, and then does a top stitch. She said at 1/16, but I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna do what feels right to me. Do what feels right to you, or to me in this case. Oops. Oh, it feels like I am fighting with my machine. I don't mean to fight with you, girl. I'm just trying to. Oops. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Damn. This actually has actually never happened before. I just broke a needle. Oh my God. I just broke a needle, which just broke my nail. My God. It just chipped at my nail, basically. Damn. Oh my God. This is even a bigger. My days. Yeah. I don't know if this is working out well. Honestly, this is a failed project. I don't know if this is working out well, guys. Oh my days. Yo. It chipped my nail, Just like, just put on my manicure. Damn. Guys, this is my sewing adventure. This is what my sewing be putting me through. So now I have to quickly change a needle and start it all over again. What's the time? Okay, it's past 7. I have to be out of here soon, so it better cooperate with me. Okay, so I've taken off this one. It was time to change the needle anyway, so perfect timing, I guess. Although inopportune, but hey. Oops, I will not complain. She says after complaining. Okay, so I'm changing my thing now. Putting in there. Can I even see what I am doing? Okay, there we go. So I have to get this and tighten it. So basically you have watched me go through the whole gamut. I have changed the needle, I have seam ripped something, I have chipped a nail, I have broken a needle as well. Like breaking a needle at this point is like honorary, like that's like welcome to, like everybody must. It's an initiation thing basically. Every sewist must break a needle. If you're actually serious about sewing, it's a prerequisite at this point. You have to break a needle. Anyways. Ooh. does it feel that way? Oh my god. That does not feel good. Ugh. All this quilting though. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Okay. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I feel like I should have. Anyways, let's see how it comes out. I feel like I should have probably gone a little bit closer to the teeth. But hey, it doesn't have to be. Uh, it doesn't have to be anything so serious for the first bag, right? We just want something that can hold our makeup things in place. Well, yeah, I'll say for this project, the main fit is the zipper fit, right? Because, I mean, I'll switch to the general purpose fit soon, but I feel like after installing the zipper, everything else is pretty much straightforward. God, I'm still really looking at this thing that chipped. I'm like, damn, you chipped my nail? You chipped my well-manicured nails? And see how I just quickly assigned blame to the sewing machine? Like, is the sewing machine's fault? Oh, I can't even see the nail that chipped. Oh my god. It's still on the thing. Oh my god. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see, let's see. Absolutely did nothing. Absolutely did zilch. What do you think? Is this standing up straight enough? It's supposed to look like this. But anyways, I have to kind of like press it down and all of that. So it's okay. It's not the thing's fault. So I think I'm going to move to the second layer now. This is done. Pretty straightforward. If I do say so myself, even after all the hiccups. Where is my seam ripper? Okay. Okay. So now this second part is a little bit tricky. Okay. So she lays the lining at the back. She lays this lining piece at the back of this one. And then so she lays it at the back of that one. And then lays the front piece like this. Okay, this is fun. Okay. And then create another sandwich and we have to clip, clip, clip. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. So I want to be very careful here to make sure that I am clipping all the layers together. Well, at this point, there are so many moving parts. So I want to make sure that I'm clipping the right pieces together. But yeah. Guys, I haven't been in a new job in like 3 years. So I'm a little bit, like, oh. What do we have here? So if you have any tips and tricks on surviving your first week in a new job, let me know. Okay? I would like to hear from you. And if you're starting a new job, I'm wishing you all the best. Let's all tap in here and wish each other all the good vibes and good juju. But yeah, no, seriously, I'm actually wishing you the best if you're starting out in a new role. I hope you enjoy the work that you get to do. And yeah, I hope this new role meets and hopefully exceeds your expectations and that you have fun there. I don't even know how this one is much smaller than, oh my God. I kind of want to scream. How is this smaller? Okay, I need to rearrange. Okay. I see my mistake. I see my mistake. And that's another thing about sewing, right? Like you have to be mindful of how you're doing things, right? You have to pay attention. If not, you're probably sewing the wrong space, in a spot you didn't mean to sew, or you'll be doing something that you didn't mean to do, which messes up the whole the whole thing. And you maybe have to seam rip just like I did and start all over again. So you have to really pay attention when you're, pinning things together. And I have learnt from my mistakes, that I cannot be distracted. I have to, watch what I'm doing. Yeah. Anyways, this is my first one, so I'm not really having too much of a, my hopes aren't high in terms of how it's supposed to look. I mean, it will look like, how it's meant to look, but, I'm not expecting expert craftsmanship here. I'm getting it there, I'm getting to that level of craftsmanship, but right now, I think I'm satisfied with whatever I put together. Yeah, my cat's just literally laid on this. You can see. Let me go get something to... Hang on. Let me grab something to... Let me grab my lint roller. Oops. Oops. I'm thinking that I might not even finish constructing all the layers today. And just mainly because, well, let's see how far I go today, actually. Let me not see. I don't think I'll finish it. Let's just see how far I go. Hey, what's happening? Are you okay? Man, having cats is just never ending, chaotic moments, honestly. I'm just like, why are you running? Why are you running? Okay. So I'm just going to repeat the same process here. Nope. So I repeat the same process here. Okay. Let me just do 1.5. Sewing. Yeah. Sewing is really fun, honestly. Like, I feel like it really helps. I'm a very tactile person. I like to touch things. So this has been a very great creativity outlet for me. Like, I won't even lie. But it can be very tiring, like having to cut things. And that's why I have to really, okay, hold on, let me just pay attention to this. And I just remembered that I did not cut this one down. So I have to do that afterwards. If you hear all of that running in the background again, that's my cat. He's really on one today, honestly. He's really, really on one today. Oh my God. But yeah, I have to cut down one piece of this lining because it is longer than the body of the fabric or the fashion fabric, like the experts will say. But yay. Yay, yay, yay. I am almost done with this piece of reconstruction. It's so funny. I was actually thinking of taking some sewing classes at a local community college this summer. Initially, I wanted to do it this winter season, but then I kind of snoozed past the deadline and it was closed when I was ready to go apply. But they have one more session during the summer, so. But then people are saying, like I saw some reviews on Reddit and people are like, this particular community college isn't really the best for this thing. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should just continue learning from home. I have found some resources that are very useful for learning. So I'm thinking I'll probably explore that option first before. Yeah, let me go trim this bit down. Or should I? Meh. Meh. Guys, I think I fucked up again. Oh my God. Can I just listen to... Okay, no, I did not. No. Okay. No. Oh, thank God. Okay. I did not. Thank God. So I am going to... Good. Look at this. Oh my God. I'm so happy. So I'm going to top stitch this side as well, just like I did on the other side. And yeah. Oof. And see how I did all the color coordinating. Well, color coordinating. I got a blue zipper to go with blue thread. So I'm talking about with this sewing. It just does something to ya. It just does something to you. Oops. What am I trying to do here? Trying to flatten this out so that I can get in there to top stitch. Damn. Okay. Okay. It really doesn't matter. Just do it however you want, baby. It doesn't matter. Okay, I feel like this side, the top stitch is going to look a lot better. Oops, 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 oops. Yep, top stitch for sure is looking a lot better with this one. I can just feel it in my bones. I can just feel it. And I wish I did the same thing here. I should have gotten close enough. Okay, I think I'll do it again here, actually. I will try this method on the other side. See how that works. It honestly never amazes me whenever I do things like this. Like, or never ceases to amaze me. Sorry. Whenever I say, oh, I want to make this and I actually make it. I'm like, wow, this is my life now. So I feel like with this one, what I did not pay too much attention to was the sizing. Like I kind of like eyeballed it. I'm like, okay, this is what it should. This is what I would like. This is the size I would like. And also based on the tutorial measurement as well. Damn. Like I have a very tight space, man. Very, very tight. So This is what we have. So we're working with. So the zip is fully installed now. Yeah, I can go ahead and okay, some things are wonky here. This bit is wonky. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do what I wanted to do. Yeah, let me just leave it. Okay. We're just going to leave it as is and move on to the next step. Now top stitched. Okay, so now we will join. Okay, so now the linings go together. Okay, so the lining pieces go together, and then the body pieces go together. And then we're going to match this up. Now, this is the moment of truth. Because it's giving, do they really align together? Right? Like, are they matching? Are they really matching up? And I think she used 3/8. So she said right sides together, sew everything, bottom edge. I think she used 3/8 seam allowance. Okay, which is fine. So I have to change my presser fit here to the general one. Okay. Oops, excuse me. It's me. Ugh, girl. Ugh. My zipper was doing something I didn't quite understand. Okay, so I'm going to sew these pieces together, this piece together, and this piece together. But I will leave some space on this side just so that I can flip the bag inside out. But yes, actually, let me do the right thing and clip this. Clip this up. Clip, clip, clip. It's going to be the funkiest makeup bag ever. So I remembered actually last week, I made a video that I did not post, and I should actually put that video out. I don't know why I didn't post it. I kind of felt like I wasn't as prepared as I would like to be. Well, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. So I have to, find out why I didn't want to post the video. And if the reason is not, solid enough, then I'll post it. Well, give me 1 sec. Let me level my lining pieces to be about the same. Hi, baby. Can I? Thank you, my love. Just want to make sure these pieces are together. Okay. All done. All done. So I have been reading this book. I think I showed it in one of my videos. It's called Wild Women Who Run with the Wolves. I think that's what it's called. But it's by Dr. Clarissa Estes. It's actually a pretty popular spiritual book. It's not it's because the book is also pretty old. So when I say old in terms of when it was published. Well, yeah, it's a really good book. So the reason why I mentioned it was such because I'm reading it again. I read it, I think, summer of last year. And that was my first time reading it. So recently I picked it up again and I have just been rereading it, and my God, I feel like it's such an eye-opener for some things I had missed in the past. And it really gave me a whole new revelation on some things I have been struggling with, right? Because I don't know if this has happened to you or if this happens to you, but you know how, because, okay, for example, let me try and remember something that I said I was going to do, but I ended up doing the opposite of. But yeah, just those scenarios where you say you want to do one thing. You know, for example, there's someone that I know I should not be interacting with anymore, but this is not even the inability to set boundaries, but then it's more so like, you know, there's a desire deep down to not do the thing, but then when the time actually comes for you to walk the talk, the actions are not matching. So I've really been curious about that. I'm like, why is this the case, right? Because I'm a very, like, I like to contemplate on things and reflect. So I'm like, okay, why is this the case? Why do I keep doing this thing that I clearly don't want to do anymore? And I read this book, and the lady mentioned this psychology or this psyche archetype called, well, it's actually based on a folklore. My God. It's based on a folklore. It's based on a story of this archetype called Bluebeard, right? Yeah, it's a Bluebeard is someone that is menacing, like they appear to be something that they are not, right? And they first of all appear to be very sweet, very thoughtful of, of your pleasure. They want you to have a good time when you're around them. They want you to feel good. But then it's all just a trap to disconnect you from your intuition, which is what the book is really all about. Like, the book is about connecting with your intuition. Okay, I think I am on the races now. Off to the races. So yeah, so the book really just helped to explain to me what was really going on, right? Like why I say I would do something, but then I'll take an action on something, but then I'm unable to do that thing when the time comes for it, right? So he just basically let me know that this psyche is responsible, this archetype is responsible for that. There's a psyche, well, that's what the book says. I think I'm inclined to believe her in that theory. There's a psyche that is embedded in all of us that seeks to destroy us and seeks to go against the desires that we have, expressed. And it is our job to recognize the tactics of this psyche, to recognize some of their powers, where you're most vulnerable when it comes to this psyche. So on things like your self-worth, right? How you value yourself, what your values are, those things are very important in being able to identify this psyche when it shows up, right? Because you'll be able to tell that it is actually not acting in your best interest. So the psyche sounds like, you want to do something right, and then it's telling you, well, you have a history of not really doing that thing properly. To try to sow self-doubt in you or try to downplay very serious situations and make it seem like it's not as serious as it is, and thereby leaving you vulnerable and weak, right? You won't be able to put up your defenses. So that is what the whole archetype, sets out to do, just kind of disempower you. So the author argues that it's important for us women to recognize the psyche in ourselves and seek to destroy it, right? We destroy it by not giving it any sort of power, right? Recognizing our power, recognizing the power of our intuition. And that is something I've been, praying to tap into more recently, right? It's like my intuition, developing a solid relationship with it, and just recognizing what's that intuition sounds like, right? It's like, I feel like I know what my intuition sounds like, right? I feel like I do. But it's also very important to be clear to really, really know what it sounds like, so that you're not mixing up its voice with another's voice. So yeah, so the book has been very helpful in that regard, in like educating me on some things that I've been getting wrong when it comes to how some things have been happening, right? Why some things have been happening, why something I said why twice, but why some things have been happening and the tactics that has been used. And the funny thing is that this is all like in my psyche. It's not something from the outside. Well, maybe I would say the outside sort of influences what goes on in here, but this bit is mostly internal stuff, right? I'm going to come a bit closer. And then I'll backstitch here. Sorry, I'm still doing the construction. I'm almost done, which is incredible. I can't believe that. Okay. So, but yeah, it has just given me a lot to think about. And then she also mentions, how powerful our intuition. I mean, we know that and our intuition is very powerful, right? It is our lifesaver, literally. It helps keep us out of harm's way. It helps to protect us. So that goes without saying how very important being in tune with one's intuition is. So she encourages it, she tells us that it's part of our initiation, right? Like to be connected with this deep intuition. And intuition is not it's something that we have to cultivate apparently. And she says that it is something that is passed, I mean, obviously, female intuition, passed down to us from our matrilineal side, but it has to be bestowed on you from your foremothers, right? You can't just oh my god, I really hope this space I left is enough. I don't think so, but okay. Sorry, hang on, let me just see what the next step is here. Okay, so I've completed this step and then she irons it open. Damn. Okay, I don't know if this is where I'll pause today because I'm feeling a bit sleepy now and I want to rest before I go to bed. I'm already feeling sleepy, but I'm so happy that you're able to hang out with me while I put this together and just hear my thoughts on these different things, right? Like I mentioned this concept of the bluebird archetype, and it's really just about this part of your psyche that tries to sabotage your desires and tries to undermine you, right? And I'm sure most of us can relate to that. Like I can heavily relate to that. Like especially this past month, like I have been, before my job offer came, I was going through the whole process of the job market and the recruitment process in particular. I'm just feeling a little bit disillusioned by it. And then obviously that brought a lot of internal dialogue and obviously that part of my psyche, which I attribute to the bluebird psyche archetype because it has a very specific quality or attributes, right? It's the part of you that it never encourages you. It never tries to give you pointers on how to get your desires, accomplished. It never, lifts you up or edifies you. It doesn't even point you to resources to help you out in whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So that's how I know that, okay, this is this archetype, right? The one that is just there to impose self-doubt and all of that. But the good thing is that it can be transmuted, it can be alchemized into something that actually helps you out, right? So she mentions that how you can do that is by connecting deeply with your intuition. So once you connect with your intuition and actually listen to it, she mentions this concept of feeding your intuition life. And how you go about feeding in life is by listening to it, is by spending time with it. And I'll even go a step further and say it's by surrendering to that intuition, right? Like letting your intuition have the driver's seat to how you go about living your life, right? Let it be the one to guide you on what path to go, where you need to be in any given moment, who you need to interact with, like or even how you interact with yourself. Like, let your intuition guide you on those things. So I feel like that was the essence of her message, and that is what really stuck with me. And it is something that I have been, contemplating over these past few days. Like, okay, what does my intuition sound like? Because she asked that question, like, what does your soul voice sound like? I'm like, what does my intuition sound like? I think I know, but like, am I really certain that this is what my intuition sounds like? So I have been, going through that whole process or work of identifying with that intuitive voice, as well as figuring out practices and modalities to help feed that intuitive voice, right? Because I feel like the more I feed it with life, which is by listening to it, the more it becomes stronger and more enhanced, and the more it becomes more or takes more of a front seat in my life, right? Because every time we ignore it, it just keeps being relegated to the back of our psyches. But the more we give it attention, the more we feed it, it becomes more stronger and more dominant. So I feel like that is my takeaway for this week, right? Like I'm trying to identify different times that I can exercise listening to my intuition, different, hopefully different opportunities that may arise this week where I can tap into that intuition. I feel like I've already started doing that because I kind of got some insights today into some questions I've been asking around work. So I feel like I have started that process of tapping into my intuition. So that is something that I have been, working on these past few days in terms of that, of tapping into my intuition. And I would also like to encourage you as well, right? So what does your intuitive voice sound like? Do you know what it sounds like? And I would like to encourage you to figure out the answers to that, right? Like sitting with yourself and asking yourself, what does my intuitive voice sound like? How do I feed this voice so that it becomes stronger and more enhanced in my life? And yeah, and let's see how that goes. I have a feeling that you'll get some answers back, right? Because every time we offer up questions to the universe, it always responds. The universe will respond back to you. So, and in this case, your intuition will respond back to you. We just have to do the work of listening to it and acting on whatever it is it tells us. So, I'm wishing you all the very best this week. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It is always a pleasure to hang out with you and just chat, right? Today we got to begin the construction process of my makeup purse. Hopefully in my next video, I will show you, maybe I'll continue it on my next video, show you what I have completed. But until then, please have yourself a wonderful week. And yeah, leave some comments for me around your thoughts on what I discussed today. And yeah, what your hopes are for the week. Until my next video, see you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye.